What's up, everybody? Crushalot here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a new early access game, Craftopia. This game seemed to have come out of nowhere. I was scrolling through Steam and stumbled upon this, looked at the trailers, and just had to check it out. There is so much in this game, it is hard to describe a genre that it even fits into. In Craftopia, you can do everything from explore different worlds, harvest resources till your heart's content, breed creatures, farm, automate, conquer dungeon bosses, the list goes on. The game starts off at this dock where several NPCs that give you an idea of where to get started, what to do, kind of get your feet wet and everything. There are missions to guide you through the basics as well. They range from harvesting specific types of resources, crafting items, exploring dungeons, and so on. From here, you'll end up harvesting some stone, wood, ores, craft some stations, get some items. There are different tiers of resources in crafting that are called ages, and you slowly progress through these to unlock more crafting resources, equipment, buildings, all sorts of things. You need certain materials to improve yourself through the ages, and you get these as you progress through the different worlds. Currently, the max age is just before the Age of War. There are several ages after that that you can see that aren't in the game yet, but they're coming in the near future. The funny thing is you don't have access to crafting the recipes, but when you get to the late game dungeons, you can actually find some of the gear that's from those later ages just as drops from chests and bosses and stuff. It's pretty cool. There's also a leveling system in this game, so that's where the RPG aspect kind of comes in. Currently, the max player level is 50, and you get one free respec. After that, they're going to cost you 100k each. Seems like a lot of gold at first, but once you start getting further into the game, you can make that amount in no time. The combat in this game is pretty fun. It's unique depending on what type of weapon you're using, one-handed, two-handed, staff, whether you're shooting archery or even throwing up spells. It's like some crazy lightning. The weapons all have durability, which degrades each time you hit an object or a creature, and it only requires gold to repair. The only caveat is the higher the quality of the loot, the more gold it costs to repair. So once you start getting up into the late game, your weapons can start costing you a lot. Every time you repair your item, it lowers the maximum durability of the item just a little bit, and eventually you have to either find a new weapon or make a new weapon because you can't repair it anymore. This game has a creature capture system. Think Pokemon. You just wander around, you can wound any creature, even civilians. You just go up to them, lower their health a little bit, throw some monster prisms, and you can just watch them capture. It can sometimes be quite challenging to capture some of these creatures due to their small size or tendency to run away. Sometimes it's just the aiming is not the best, but it is a load of fun. Once you capture these little guys, you can just throw them in your base, let them run around, breed them to create all sorts of different things, or have them generate power for you because you're going to need a lot of power to craft some stuff in this game. The automation capabilities in this game are pretty straightforward. It's simple and easy to set up. There's everything from mining, smithing, and even farming that can be automated. I'm sure there's going to be more to come in the future, but currently that's what's in the game right now. The downside to automating everything, if you do it all in the same world, is that it can drastically drop your frame rate with everything running at once. My main world, my frame rate can drop anywhere to 15 to 20 frames per second when it easily runs at 60 FPS on every other world. Hopefully this gets addressed in the near future. It only affects the world you're on though, so it's not too bad. Once you leave the world and go to a new one, the frame rates are back to normal. And everything basically goes on pause, so whatever you have automating and farming in your old world that you're not in at the time, just stops until you go back to it. After you get all your resources from automating, farming, what have you, the world is kind of up to you with what you do with them. Create a giant base, all sorts of different structures, create more farms, automation, and there's actually this rocket that you can build with a crazy amount of resources. It took hours of grinding to get the resources to build this rocket, and it was actually kind of sad when you built it. Spoiler, if you don't want to know what happens when you build it, skip this section. Otherwise, enjoy the sad show. Yeah, after that rocket launch, we were pretty devastated. That was brought a tear to my eye. It was so sad. But at least we built it, so now you don't have to. Or at least maybe one day they'll add something to where it actually does something. Or maybe, who knows, maybe you guys know that what to do with the rocket once you build it to where it doesn't just blow up. If you know, please comment below and tell me what I did wrong. Exploring different worlds will unlock different tiers of dungeons and levels along with different types of resources. The higher up you go in the worlds, the more materials it requires to unlock that world. At first, it could be anything from like 20 wood to unlock a world all the way up to 100 biofuel gears and I believe wood as well. The biofuel is quite grindy to get. You'll see some clips throughout here that me just grinding to get all that biofuel to unlock different areas. The current max level world is 7, and you'll find creatures ranging from the 80s to 90s in this area, with the boss in the dungeons being around 113 to 116. There is multiplayer in the game, but it is not implemented very well. If you're network savvy, you can do some port forwarding and figure out a way to do it that way. But I found the easiest way, you just download Hamachi. Link is in the description. Just sign in, create a network, give the name and password to your friends that you want to join, and then bam, you're in. And you just connect via Steam. It's pretty straightforward. The only downside to this, to the free version of Hamachi, is that you can only have up to 5 people on one of these networks, so you're limited to how many people you can have in your world at once. All in all, there is so much to do in this game, and it's still in early access, and they keep constantly putting out patches and updates that improve the game, add more to it, fix quality of life issues. They started out doing patches daily and weekly, but as they keep pumping out more and more, they've slowed it down to about every 2 weeks. It's still great. The $25 price may be a bit too much for some people, but if you like RPGs and just sandbox world games, this is a pretty good game, just where it is right now, and it has so much room to grow. There are your occasional bugs and simple world layouts, similar mobs, nothing too crazy in depth, but it's also early access, and man, it's only been in early access for what, like a month? So I mean, hey, it's pretty good still. Thanks for making it to the end of the review, everybody. I'm going to leave you guys with some footage of me playing the game, just some automation, crazy shenanigans of what you can do with the parkour in this game, and then some dungeon crawling. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more of it, please like and subscribe and comment below with any ideas, suggestions, or some crazy things you've done in Craftopia. I'd love to see what you guys are doing. Peace out.